Welcome to Your Deep Dive. Today we're exploring something very personal, your own journal entry
Right.
about finding a calmer,
Yeah.
more authentic life.
Yeah.
Along with your writing, we have some fascinating historical and cultural perspectives
Right.
that might offer some insights on your journey.
Oh,
It's like we're time traveling to gather wisdom for you.
what's fascinating is how your longing for peace reflects a universal human need.
Mm-hmm.
Across cultures and time periods,
Yeah.
people have grappled with this tension between the demands of the world and the desire for inner peace.
You know, it's funny because in your journal entry from December 26, 2024, you described this perfectly lazy Christmas day.
Yeah.
Waking up late, a simple breakfast,
Hmm.
even a bit of side-eye movie watching while scrolling online.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty idyllic.
Sounds nice.
But then you had this powerful moment of introspection,
Mm-hmm.
lying in bed, breathing deeply.
Yeah.
You asked your heart what it needed,
Okay.
and the answer was simply peace.
That's such a potent moment.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes about your desire to connect with a deeper sense of calm and purpose.
Right.
And what's interesting is that this longing for peace often arises amidst the business and noise of modern life.
Totally. It's like we're constantly bombarded with messages about productivity, achievement, and outward success.
Yeah,
It's exhausting.
it is.
And technology, especially social media, just amplifies this frenetic pace,
Right,
making it harder to disconnect and find those pockets of quiet where we can truly reflect.
exactly. It's this constant state of stimulation that often makes us crave a simpler, more authentic way of being.
So how did people in the past navigate this?
Mm-hmm.
Were they always caught in this whirlwind of activity?
Not at all.
Wow.
Let's rewind the clock and journey to a time where life moved at a different pace. Imagine yourself in a rural agrarian society where the rhythm of life was dictated by the seasons.
Right.
Planting, tending crops, harvesting, everything revolved around this cyclical connection to the land.
Wow, I can almost feel the stillness.
Mm-hmm.
No deadlines,
Right.
no notifications,
Yeah.
just the sun on your face and the earth beneath your feet.
Right.
It sounds incredibly grounding.
Right. And this connection to nature wasn't just about sustenance.
Okay.
It was about fostering a deep sense of presence and mindfulness.
Mm-hmm.
They relied on intuition, traditional knowledge passed down through generations, and a deep understanding of the natural world.
It's interesting to think about how this connection to the land also shaped their sense of identity.
Right.
They weren't bombarded with external messages about who they should be or what they should achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Their identity was intertwined with their role, their contribution to the community, and their relationship with the natural world.
Absolutely. Their authenticity wasn't a choice.
Yeah.
It was a way of life.
And it's this sense of belonging,
Yeah.
of being rooted in something larger than themselves
Mm.
that contributed to their sense of peace and purpose.
Eh.
Okay, so we have rural life.
Mm-hmm.
What about folks who weren't farmers?
Right.
Were there other paths to this calm, authentic way of being?
Let's travel to pre-industrial Europe, where craftsmanship and artistry were highly valued. Imagine a blacksmith meticulously honing their skills over years,
Yeah.
transforming raw materials into beautiful, functional objects.
Right.
It wasn't just a job. It was an art form,
Right.
a form of self-expression.
It's amazing to think about the level of focus and dedication required to master a craft like that.
Yeah.
And in that slow, deliberate process, there must have been a sense of deep satisfaction,
Mm-hmm.
a quiet joy in creating something with your own hands.
Exactly. Their authenticity was woven into the very fabric of their work.
Yeah.
And it's this sense of purpose of creating something meaningful that I think resonates with your journal entry and your desire for a more authentic life.
You know, it makes me think of those incredible cathedrals in Europe.
Right.
The soaring arches, the intricate stained glass, the detailed carvings.
Right.
It's mind-boggling to imagine the time and skill that went into creating such masterpieces.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just about the physical creation.
Okay.
Many spiritual traditions also emphasize the importance of cultivating inner peace
Right.
and connecting with something larger than oneself.
Okay, so let's talk about monasteries. I admit I have this image of monks chanting in dimly lit rooms, completely isolated from the world.
Well, it wasn't always that extreme.
Okay.
But yes,
Yeah.
monastic communities like the Benedictines or Buddhist monks often sought solitude and a simpler way of life. Their days were structured around prayer, meditation, and contemplation.
Okay.
They were seeking a deeper connection with the divine, with their inner selves.
So even though their lives were very different from those in agrarian societies or those practicing a craft,
Right?
they were all seeking something similar,
Yeah,
a connection to something larger than themselves, whether it be nature, a craft, or the divine.
precisely.
Mm.
And in that intentional separation from worldly distractions,
Yeah.
they found a profound sense of peace and purpose.
Mm.
Their authenticity wasn't about fitting into societal expectations. It was about aligning their actions with their spiritual beliefs and values.
So we've explored agrarian societies, craftsmanship, and spiritual traditions, all pointing towards this desire for a simpler, more connected way of life.
Yes.
What other historical examples can shed light on this quest for a calmer, more authentic existence?
Let's shift our focus now to ancient Africa,
Okay.
where many cultures beautifully illustrate this interconnectedness between nature, community, and personal identity.
Right.
And this is where it gets really fascinating because their approach to life offers some truly unique insights into finding peace and authenticity in a world that often feels chaotic.
Ancient Africa, I'm ready to dive in. What's so unique about their approach to life?
What's remarkable is that this desire for a calm, quiet, and authentic life wasn't something they strived for. It was simply woven into the fabric of their existence.
Yeah.
It wasn't a separate pursuit. It was
Wow.
just how they lived.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Can you give us a specific example?
Let's look at the Yoruba people of West Africa.
Okay.
They had, and still have, this incredibly intricate relationship with nature.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding the seasons, the lunar cycles,
Right.
the interconnectedness of all things.
Yeah.
They even have a concept called ACE,
Okay.
this vital force or energy that flows through all living things,
Mm-hmm.
connecting us all.
So it's more than just respecting nature.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we're all part of this larger web of life.
Precisely. And their rituals and ceremonies weren't just outward celebrations.
Right.
They were opportunities to cultivate inner peace,
Okay.
to reflect on their place in the world,
Mm-hmm.
to connect with this vital force of ACE.
You know, that reminds me of your point about your journal entry and that powerful word peace. It's not just about the absence of noise or stress. It's about feeling connected to something larger than yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the Yoruba people seem to have understood that connection innately.
Absolutely. And this deep connection to nature influenced many aspects of their lives.
Okay.
For example, think about how the ancient Egyptians lived along the Nile.
Right. The Nile's floods were predictable,
Yeah.
bringing fertile soil and sustaining their crops.
Mm-hmm.
It was more than just a water source.
Right.
It was a symbol of cyclical renewal,
Yeah.
shaping their agriculture, spirituality, even their understanding of time.
Exactly. And their philosophy, especially the concept of ma'at,
Okay.
balance, order, truth,
Yeah.
emphasized living in harmony with the universe.
Right.
Ma'at wasn't just a set of rules. It was a way of life, guiding their actions and ensuring a harmonious society.
So for the ancient Egyptians, finding peace wasn't just about individual contentment.
Right.
It was about aligning yourself with a larger cosmic order.
Yes. And they had practices like meditation and contemplation to help them connect with this divine order. It wasn't about escaping the world. It was about finding their place within it,
Okay.
living in a way that fostered balance and harmony.
This is fascinating. It
Yeah.
seems like so many ancient cultures understood this connection between inner peace and a sense of belonging,
Right.
of understanding your place in the larger scheme of things.
It's a theme we see time and time again. And to further illustrate this point,
Okay.
let's journey south to the Maasai people of East Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Their pastoral way of life is deeply rooted in their connection to the land and their cattle.
Okay.
Their roles within the tribe are clearly defined, and their identity is intertwined with their contribution to the community.
So their sense of authenticity comes from knowing and fulfilling your role within the ecosystem, within the
Yeah,
community.
they have this deep respect for the earth,
Yeah.
for their elders, for the rhythms of life.
Mm-hmm.
Authenticity isn't about individual achievement. It's about playing your part in the larger tapestry of life.
It really challenges our modern day emphasis on individual success and striving.
It does.
It's a different way of looking at the world,
Yeah.
where your sense of self is derived from your relationships, your responsibilities to others.
And let's not forget the Dogon people of Mali.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Their understanding of the cosmos is incredible. They
Yeah.
have these intricate astronomical knowledge systems
Right?
passed down through generations.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is that this knowledge isn't just about stars and planets.
Okay.
It's about understanding their place in the vastness of the universe,
Yeah.
connecting with something much larger than themselves.
Now, the stargazers of ancient Africa.
Yeah.
Their rituals and ceremonies must be incredible.
They are. One of their most important rituals is the Sigri ceremony,
Okay.
which happens every 60 years
Wow.
and involves deep reflection and communal connection and the transmission of knowledge from one generation to the next. It's a profound celebration of their cosmology, their connection to the universe.
So it's not just about connecting with nature, but with the cosmos, with the very fabric of existence.
Exactly. And this brings us to a crucial point.
Okay.
The concept of community itself was central to their way of life and their sense of authenticity.
Okay, how so?
Well, unlike the modern emphasis on individualism, many African cultures saw the self as inherently intertwined with the community.
Right.
It's beautifully captured in the concept of Ubuntu,
Okay.
which translates to I am because we are.
It's such a powerful idea.
Yeah.
Your identity, your sense of self is shaped by your relationships, your responsibilities to others. It's about recognizing our shared humanity, our interconnectedness.
And this communal approach fostered a sense of calm and authenticity.
Okay.
People focused on supporting each other,
Yeah.
ensuring everyone had a meaningful role within the group.
It's a stark contrast to the often competitive and isolating nature of modern life,
Right.
where we're constantly bombarded with messages about individual achievement and self-promotion.
Right. And this difference is also reflected in their perception of time.
Yeah.
It wasn't this rigid, linear thing dictated by clocks and schedules.
Right.
Time was cyclical, tied to the rhythms of nature,
Yeah.
the seasons, the lunar cycles.
So instead of rushing from one appointment to the next,
Yeah.
they were moving with the flow of life,
Yeah.
honoring the natural rhythms of the world around them.
Exactly. This slower pace allowed for stillness, for contemplation, for connecting with their inner selves and with each other.
Okay.
They had rituals, storytelling traditions, and communal gatherings that provided opportunities for reflection and wisdom sharing.
It sounds like they understood that true wisdom comes from slowing down,
Yeah.
from observing, listening, and connecting. It's about embracing those moments of quiet reflection, of shared experiences, of simply being present in the moment. It's incredible how these ancient cultures, especially in Africa, seem to have this innate understanding of living in harmony with nature, with each other, and with themselves. It makes our modern world feel so frenetic and disconnected in comparison.
It's true that their lives were vastly different from ours.
Right.
But what's important isn't to replicate their lifestyles exactly, but to extract the underlying principles, the wisdom they embodied, and see how we can weave those threads into our own lives, even amidst the hustle and bustle of the modern world.
Okay, that makes sense. But realistically, most of us can't just abandon our jobs and responsibilities
Right.
to live like ancient farmers or monks.
Right.
So how do we bridge that gap?
That's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
But I think your journal entry offers some clues.
Okay.
Remember that moment when you asked your heart what it needed? And the answer was peace. That yearning for peace is a powerful starting point.
Right. And as we've been discussing these different cultures and ways of life, I've been noticing some common threads that really resonate with my own desire for a calmer, more authentic life.
I think you're onto something. Let's unpack those threads and see how we can translate them into actionable steps.
Okay.
For example, think about the deep connection to nature that we see in so many cultures.
Right.
We might not all be farmers,
Yeah.
but we can still find ways to incorporate nature into our lives.
I've definitely felt that even just a short walk in the park or a few minutes tending my little balcony garden can really shift my energy. You know, It's like hitting a reset button on my nervous system.
Exactly. It's about finding those small moments to connect with the natural world.
Yeah.
Whether it's through gardening, hiking, or simply taking a moment to appreciate the trees and the birds on your way to work.
And it's not just about nature, right?
Right.
It's about finding that sense of connection and belonging that we talked about earlier. We might not live in tribes anymore,
Right.
but we can still prioritize those meaningful relationships in our lives.
Absolutely. It's about making time for quality time with loved ones.
Yeah.
Nurturing those friendships that feed your soul. and finding ways to contribute to your community.
Right.
Even small acts of kindness and connection can have a ripple effect, making you feel more grounded and less alone in the world.
And thinking back to those monks and their structured days,
Yeah.
maybe it's also about being more intentional with our time. Instead of getting sucked into the endless scroll of social media
Right.
or the pressure to be productive every second of the day,
Yeah.
maybe we can carve out pockets of time for activities that truly nourish us.
That's a powerful insight.
Yeah.
It's about reclaiming your time and energy, choosing how you want to spend those precious moments.
Right.
Instead of mindlessly scrolling, maybe you dedicate that time to reading a book, learning a new skill, or pursuing a creative hobby.
And it's not just about big chunks of time, right?
Right.
It can be as simple as incorporating small rituals into your day that promote calm and reflection. I've recently started taking a few minutes each morning to meditate.
Oh,
And it's made a world of difference in how I approach my day.
yeah.
It's like creating a little pocket of peace amidst the chaos.
Those small, intentional acts can have a profound impact.
Right.
And they don't have to be complicated.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as lighting a candle and enjoying a cup of tea in silence, taking a few deep breaths before a meeting, or writing in a gratitude journal before bed.
So as we wrap up our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to encourage you to reflect on everything we've discussed.
Mm-hmm.
What resonates with you the most? What feels possible to incorporate into your own life, even in small ways?
Don't feel overwhelmed by trying to do everything at once.
Right.
Start with one small step, one tiny shift that feels aligned with your heart's desire for peace.
Okay.
Maybe it's taking a walk in nature during your lunch break, having a tech-free evening once a week,
Yeah.
or simply taking a few moments each day to ask yourself, what do I need right now?
And remember, this is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you feel aligned and at peace.
Right.
And there will be days when the chaos feels overwhelming.
Yeah.
The key is to keep coming back to those core principles, those tiny adjustments that nourish your soul and guide you towards a life that feels more authentically you.
You've already begun this journey by reflecting on your desire for peace in your journal entry.
Right.
Keep listening to that inner voice, keep exploring, and trust that you have the wisdom and the strength to create a life that feels more aligned with your truest self.
So keep that journal close. Keep exploring those whispers of your heart. And keep seeking out those moments of peace and connection, no matter how small.
Yes.
Your journey towards a calmer, more authentic life has just begun. And it's a journey worth taking.